Hello everyone. Today I am going to explain the conditions for parallelism of lines and perpendicularity of lines in terms of their slopes. Okay. So if we have the information about two or more lines that the slope of lines are given, then we can conclude the lines are perpendicular to each other or the lines are parallel to each other or not. Okay. So let's start now understanding the concept of parallelism of two straight lines. First of all, suppose, dear students, we have two lines L1 and L2. L1 having inclination theta 1 and L2 having inclination theta 2. Since these two lines are parallel to each other and x-axis behaves like a transversal here, so theta 1 must be equal to theta 2 by the concept of corresponding angles. Okay. So let L1 is parallel to L2, then theta 1 must be equal to theta 2 using the concept of corresponding angles, as corresponding angles are equal. Okay, so theta 1 is equal to now theta 2. Since two acute angles are equal, we can apply tangent for both of these angles. Therefore, tangent of theta 1 is equal to tangent of theta 2. Because theta 1 and theta 2 are the inclinations of line L1 and line L2 respectively. Inclination of a line can vary from 0 degree to 180 degree, and in the domain of 0 degree and 180 degree, if two different angles are equal, their tangents are also equal, their sines are also equal, their cosines are also equal. So use this concept now. So tangent of theta 1 must be equal to tangent of theta 2. Since the line having inclination theta, its slope is denoted by m. Therefore, if theta 1 is the inclination of a line, then tan theta 1 will be its slope, obviously. So it can be represented by m1. Okay, and similarly for the second line, tan theta 2 may be represented by m2. Thus we see that if two lines are parallel to each other, then their slopes are equal. Okay, thus we observe that if two lines are parallel to each other, then their slopes are equal or vice versa. Okay, means if two lines are parallel, their slopes must be equal. If slopes of two lines are equal, then the lines must be parallel to each other. Well, now I am going to explain the condition for perpendicularity of two different straight lines. Okay. So let L1 and L2 are two different straight lines again having inclinations theta 1 and theta 2. Well, L1 is perpendicular on L2. Let line L1 is perpendicular on line L2. Then we must have theta 2 is equal to 90 degree plus theta 1. Why? Why we have theta 2 is equal to 90 degree plus theta 1? Do you know? Yes, of course. By using the concept of exterior angle formula. Okay, exterior angle of a triangle is always equal to the sum of two opposite interior angles, always. Okay, so theta 2 is equal to 90 degree plus theta 1. Now again we have two different angles equal, so their tangents must be equal. So apply now tangent for both the angles. Thus we have tan theta 2 is equal to tangent of 90 degree plus theta 1. Do you know the formula of tan 90 degree plus theta 1? This angle lies in second quadrant, in which tangent has a negative sign. Okay, and this one 90 degree is odd multiple of 90 degree, in which theta 1 is added here. So naming of the function will be changed, and thus we have tan 90 degree plus theta 1 as minus cot theta 1. Okay, minus cot theta 1, exactly. Now we know that tangent and cotangent are reciprocals to each other. So cot theta 1 may be written as 1 by tan theta 1. Okay. Now tan theta 1 means what? M1. Tan theta 1 means M1, the slope of first line L1. Okay, this is denoted by M1. And in LHS we have tan theta 2, that means M2. So if two lines having slopes M1 and M2 are perpendicular to each other, then their slopes are negative reciprocals to each other. Their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. We can write here M1 is equal to what? Minus 1 by M2 also. Okay, or we can write M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. So we can say that the product of their slopes must be negative 1, minus 1. If two lines are perpendicular to each other, then their slopes are negative reciprocals to each other, or in other words, if two lines are perpendicular to each other, then the product of their slopes must be minus 1. Okay, you can write this concept also. Thus we observe that if two lines are perpendicular to each other, then their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other, or vice versa. Okay, well, means if the product of slopes of two different lines is minus 1, then we can say that the lines are perpendicular to each other. And if two lines are known perpendicular to each other, then the product of their slopes must be minus 1. Okay, thank you everyone.